Hello. So it's twitter.com/tinykittensHQ and Instagram is also tinykittensHQ, not tiny kittens. Why can't I find it now? Maybe I need to do it from my phone. Oh, I'll post it and then we can all look at it together. I think I post this one maybe. I wonder if I could. Okay, tweeted. Are you so adorable? So many. Are you so cute? So she got a good report on her exam. She did have ear mites, not when she came in. She doesn't have any now, but Dr. Ferguson thinks she's probably going to be a little itchy from that. Oh. Oh no. Oh. She's very cute. She weighed 4.55 kilograms, which is 10.031 pounds, which means I can update the spreadsheet finally. The weight chart. There's a link to the weight chart and a bunch of other stuff if you click more and then details. At the top of the page, under where it says tip new mama to be. So that was what, 10.031. So she's gained 0.83 pounds since she came here. The numbers are actually pretty good. These numbers anyway. Just looking at her. Whoops. What's that? Is that a phone number? Hi. Oops. Oh my goodness. Oh. You're not helping. You're not helping. No. Okay. Just updating the weight chart. Oh, so itchy. A belly circumference. On her. Come here. Come here. Let's measure your belly. Yeah. Oh. But you're laying on the end of it. Now, it's a little bit hard to do because the babies shift around. Ow! The babies shift around. She's at about 18.5 inches belly circumference. But it depends on if babies are sticking out sideways sometimes or if they're not. So, should we look at let's look at the x-ray. All right. Let's see if I can get this in some sort of larger format. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, this is going to be hard to see. Here we go. So this is on Twitter and Instagram if you want to look at it on your own. Tiny Kittens HQ for both of those. So we've got, so you can see skulls and spines, right? So this here is a skull, and this skull is connected to this spine, which goes down here. We have a spine here that we think is coming into a skull that's here. It's a little bit hard to see at this resolution. And then there's a skull here and a spine. There's a skull here. And we think that spine is going this way because we have there's some ribs we can see over here. And I think the other skull, it's hard to see on this x-ray. Let me look at the other one. Oh, yeah, there it is. So here, there's a skull here. So how many is that? How many is that? And this is food, and then the rest of this is all poop. She has lots of poop in there, and that's gas. But so we can see little arms, like here and here, but we don't see digits. So we don't see fingers yet or toes, and so those usually develop in the last week sometimes. So Dr. Ferguson thinks we are at least 7 days or about 7 days away because we don't see that yet. So, and then we saw kind of what we thought was a miscellaneous spine, but we couldn't find a skull to go with it. So we're going with definitely 5, possibly 6. She is not as gassy as Eve was, that's for sure. So she's going to get much bigger. You should be able to see the photo on Twitter or Instagram without having a Twitter or Instagram account. You can just go to twitter.com/tinykittенshq, or you can go to instagram.com/tinykittенshq, and you'll see it. So we think 5 kittens. Yes, she was very pleased. She's very pleased. Possibly there could be a 6th surprise kitten in there. Yes. So, oh, it was so exhausting. So you can see there's some activity going on there. Getting some good belly vision. You're very cute. Aren't you so cute? Oh, such a good girl. She was not extremely charmed by the car ride, but she did sort of calm down on the way back. She likes being covered up. She's very cute. It's hard to see because it was a cell phone picture of the X-ray and then posted online, which reduces the resolution. So it's a little bit hard to make out, but that's what we all thought we saw. Was definitely 5, and then possibly with a spine that maybe the skull was like hidden somehow. Yeah, so there are little dots. There are little dots. They actually are teeny tiny numbers, but you can't read them on the skulls. And we think about 7 days. So I first saw the belly vision 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago. So if she has 7 days left, that would mean we've had 13 days of belly vision, which would be a new record. Which means that's if we go another 7 days. I definitely think she has time left because she hasn't reached that super waddly, uncomfortable phase that Cisco is in. which reminds me I can switch the camera over there. So I think Cisco is closer than Tip, but it's nice that they hopefully will be within a week of each other. He's got some good activity going on in there though. Can you meet the baby? Very cute. So belly circumference 18.5 inches. Dorothy was 18.5 inches on day 56. Tip would be day 57 potentially today, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 56 or 57 today, if we have a week to go. So that's very interesting. What did Dorothy weigh? Dorothy weighed 9.3 pounds on day 57. So Tip weighs more. The babies are good size. Looking at the just looking at the X-ray, the one that is the clearest is pretty big actually. So that's good. I like big babies. You know, I like pudgy babies. But hopefully that one's not going to be the first one out. Yep, so she could have any color, pretty much any color baby. She definitely tabby, but because she's Torby, because she has the ginger spots on her, she could also have ginger babies. She could have Torby babies, black. Those are the most likely options. She doesn't have white on her, so it's less likely that at least the boy babies, I don't think, would have white. Although that works a little bit differently. So we'll see. Could be all tabbies. Probably will be some ginger represented in there, but we'll see. She's very cute. She had a very big day. Torty is orange and black. Cisco is a torty, and Tip is Torby because Torby is torty plus tabby. So you can see that Tip has distinct tabby markings, but she's also black and orange. So she's got the torty coloring and the tabby pattern, and so that is combined to be called Torby. Whereas Cisco is just straight up torty, which is short for tortoise shell, which is black and ginger. So Tip's ginger, you can see she's got a little spot right here. She's got little spots throughout her tabby, and you can see on her, she's got a ginger toe and her tail tip. And this ring on her tail is ginger. And she's got a little ginger in her stripes. She's very cute. It's not as obvious as Eve's. So Eve was also a Torby, but she had white mittens and a white bib, and she was dilute, which means she was gray and cream versus ginger and black. So there you go, more information than you ever wanted. So we are in Belly Vision Week, but not necessarily on Kitten Watch. For a tip, we're definitely on high alert for Kitten Watch with Cisco. Oh, aren't you cute? You're so cute. Such a good kitten. Dr. Ferguson confirms that she's likely around 2 years old. What else? So there's a super rare case that a male could be bicolor, or which is torty, having black and ginger, because color is carried on the X chromosome, and girls have 2 X's, so they get 1 from each parent, 1 color characteristic from each parent, and then boys only get their color from their mom. So in some cases, you'll have a boy with an XXY chromosome. It's super rare, and in those cases, they could have black and ginger, but unless they're that very rare XXY, they will not ever have ginger and black. So tabby is a pattern. It's not actually a color. So in most cases, like in Tip's case, the underlying color for her, well, if she was a regular tabby, like take Mila in the feral room, she's like a regular, just a straight up tabby. Her underlying color would be considered black. So she's actually a black cat with a tabby pattern. So ginger cats have tabby patterns also. It's just not the same. It doesn't look like, it's not as distinct as this usually. So it's not considered 2 colors because it's the pattern. Look at that stretched out Cisco. The camera's not wide angle enough to get her whole stretched out body. Oh. All right, so what hello? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Oliver kind of from laps. Did they show intake on Oliver? He was not doing great, and Dr. Ferguson found some blood in his abdomen, which is either a sign of trauma or bleeding tumor or something like that, which is really not a good thing. So I believe they were going to try to find, they were looking on all the lost pet sites, but I think they were going to have to make a pretty difficult decision, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, but at least, they had him on morphine and everything. He was feeling okay. He didn't have to suffer. So sometimes that's all we can do, Kind of a bummer. Yeah. So in that situation, they do their best to see if he might have an owner somewhere. But even in that situation, when the prognosis is very poor, they don't have a lot of time to wait. So, yeah. Anyway, sad things like that happen, but more happy things happen, luckily. Right, Miss Tip? Like Tip. Yeah, so I'm going to, I'm actually heading to Laps next to pick up Ocean, who has been spayed, and I will return her at the feeding station, the new feeding station, because that's where she came from. And, hi. Then I will check the footage and see if we've had any new kitty visitors. I suspect Tip has had kittens before. She seems pretty, her body seems pretty ready for it. Her nipples are already developing and, kind of ready for action. So I would suspect that she's had them before. Also, when you see a bigger litter, like 5+ kittens, usually first time moms, if they're pretty young, have smaller litters like 2, 3, 4 kittens. When you get into 5 and 6, it's, I would say, often, not always, but often, a more experienced cat. So that is where I'm headed next, and then I think Lori is feeding at the other feeding station today. Tip's worm situation is under control. She's now been dewormed twice, and she did get her tapeworm dewormer on Monday night, so she should be feeling better. She's got the ear mites have been dealt with. The fleas have been dealt with, so she's still a little bit itchy left over from that, but definitely feeling much better. And she does enjoy having unlimited food. She's been eating like a pregnant cat, eating like she's eating for 6 or 7. That includes herself. And Lily should be spayed by now, I would think. And she was not at Mountain View. She was at Yorkson Creek, another really great vet. She should be on her way back to Laps, or possibly back at Laps. So maybe I will see if I can see her before I pick Ocean up. But she'll be available for adoption tomorrow, so I haven't seen any applications for her, so I'm hoping that the right person is out there and is just waiting to go and scoop her up tomorrow, because she's so darling and wonderful, and she deserves the best life ever. And I promised her the best life ever, so, hopefully I can make good on that promise, because someone wonderful will step up. I'm sure that they will. All right, so I better get going because that will take several hours, that whole process. And then I'll come back here and we will see. Let's see. we'll see if Cisco ever decides to leave the ledge of denial and report to the nest. She's been avoiding it like the plague, which sometimes happens when they get close. The nest is the last place they want to spend any time. So, and most of my mama cats prefer hard surfaces because they're cooler. And so this is pretty typical. Oh, where's she going? Oh, just repositioning. Pretty typical pregnant cat behavior. Okay, there she is. If you want to see, there she is. Oh, look at that belly. So you can see, so if you compare belly sizes between Cisco and Tip, Cisco's belly is gigantic. So I would say she has at least 6 kittens in there. Her belly is just much, much larger. Now, it's probably been used a lot more. Oh, Tip's gonna go camping. Glamping. Cisco's belly has probably been used many more times, but it is much larger. It's probably hard to tell on the cam, and I would love to get a belly circumference on her because it's huge, but if Tip has 5 kittens, I mean, granted, she's going to get a week bigger, but I would say Cisco has minimum 6 kittens in there. That's my guess. I'm hoping not more than 7 for Cisco. 8 would be a challenge. 6 is okay. 5 easier. We think that we think there's about a week left for Tip, and Cisco could go anytime. That's what the predictions are. So, and you can watch Cisco. It's at tinykittens.com/feralcam if you want to. Probably there will be kittens there first, but we won't be able to play with them. She's giant because she's a pretty little cat, except for her belly. So Tip's got some catching up to do. So, all right, yeah, maybe some blue moon kittens. So that's one of the reasons we do x-rays, is so that we know when all the kittens are out, because it can be problematic. We don't ever want to leave a kitten behind, and occasionally the moms, if they have a bigger litter, will be exhausted and won't have the strength to push out the last one. So it's really helpful for us to know how many to expect, so that we can be reasonably comfortable when they're done. So we don't worry. I did talk to Dr. Ferguson about emergency C-section protocols, again, for just so that we were kind of both on the same page and prepared in case something goes dramatically wrong with Cisco, because I won't be able to interfere. If she is in extreme distress, then I will interfere. But it's a pretty big problem, because the sedation protocol for a feral cat is not, it's very harmful to the babies. So we were discussing, could we, what are some things we could try basically they need to be able to get a catheter in with IV meds and things like that, like the sedation and a tube in, and obviously they can't do that on a feral cat. So we kind of talked some things over, but hopefully it will not come to that. That is only a method of very last resort. So we will just hope for the best and all clutch our pearls together. Mila is in there. She's in the bunker. She's taken over the bunker of solitude and seems to be actually quite comfortable and relaxed down there. You haven't heard her meowing or anything very much at all, which is nice. So look at the belly vision. There's some belly vision. Before I go, look at that belly. It's so cute. Yeah, unfortunately, all we can do is observe as closely as possible. It's one of the reasons I have so many cameras set up in there, because I want to be able to observe, and if I'm concerned, Dr. Ferguson checks in also. She can take a look, and we can decide what, on a course of action based on whatever happens, and that's really the best that we can do for her. And just know that she's had great nutrition. She's been dewormed once. And at least this is a safe place, and all those things are better than what she would have had in the wild. So, oh, big sigh. So yes, we are definitely hoping for the best. And yeah, whatever happens, Cisco will never have to go through it again. So thank goodness for that. All right, I better go before it gets too late. I'm always home so late, and then, All right, let's put this back. Oh. Window vision. There we go. Hi. Uh-oh. Are you going to try to attack me when I leave? Look, watch your bird. Oh, good. A nice flop. That was a very nice flop. Okay. Good girl. I'll see you later. Quick escape. Oh, no. Ah. Oh.